our uncle's going to give us something to help us get through this opening section, so we'll see what it is.
You know, it's so often that I hear people suggesting to like a new player who's never played the game before to start with a standard seed, but they fail to recommend Uncle Assured. Because some of the weapons that the uncle can give you are not new player friendly.
That is true. I would not want to be trying to get through the first time ever with just bombs, for instance.
Once you learn the strats, though, the starts like that with bombs, they end up being like one of the most efficient ways to do it.
Yeah, I have not been one of those people who goes to all that trouble. So we'll see if that's going to be what we're doing today. Yeah.
Hey!
Apparently that's how we're going to go.
Assuming that you know some of the bomb strats, the bomb start is by far the best start in the escape.
Yeah, it's good because it guarantees you bombs. We want some bombs to be able to get at a few treasures that are otherwise maybe going to be locked to us for a while, so...
Yeah, with all the other weapons, it can be very tempting to waste a lot of time just killing enemy after enemy after enemy, hoping for that bomb drop so you don't get ruined by those last 3 chests. But we already got bombs. We're good to go.
Yeah, unless we don't know our bomb strats, and then we use all of our bombs.
Yeah, it can be a little frustrating. There are different save and quit points that you can use, though, to refill some bombs if you did absolutely run out, but they're not very forgiving. I think you only get 3 bombs if you restarted Zelda's Cell.
Oh, that's interesting. It's good that's a bit of a failsafe built in, just because if you did wind up going through all of your bombs before you kill the last enemy and you don't have any pots left to throw at that guard that has the big key in Zelda's Cell, you know, that could be a pain. Like seeing people using these statues and chests to their advantage to kill that guard.
You can see Quizbowl did a nifty little setup where he placed 1 bomb above the chest and then threw 1 bomb down to the bottom right. And the one he threw knocked the guard into the other one that he had earlier placed. Ends up being very efficient, quick way to get through that. Doesn't even need that bomb that was dropped by the guard.
Never hurts to pick up an extra bomb, though. So we've already got our key. We knew we needed to pick up a key somewhere in the front part of this before we get past the Dark Cross after picking up Zelda and kind of walking back through. So now, you know, hopefully we're going to get rid of that map soon. Get rid of that other useless item.
Another really nifty setup there from Quizbowl. He staggered dropping the bombs so that the iframes that the guard would receive from taking damage from the first one won't make him immune to the second one.
Nice.
But he placed them so close together that it looked like, you know, just explode. Oh, look, a key.
Yeah, but just perfect. Barbecue sauce. Finally getting that guard. A little bit low on bombs. We've got some pots we can kill the final gentleman here with the ball and chain with, so it's not too scary.
So there's a little bad news here for Quizbowl. So you need 2 of those pots to kill the ball and chain guard, but depending on the RNG you get from the green guard, he can make it very difficult to do that, and he ended up having to spend 2 pots to kill the green guard and had to reset.
Yeah, it's a bit of a shame. Gotta go and reset the room, but it's all right. We've picked up a source of light and fire here, which is kind of vanilla, actually, for this lamp if you don't pick it up in your house, which it's kind of nice to get a lamp early on. We're not going to see any dark rooms in today's seed.
Barbecue sauce got trapped in that little room there by the green guard. Had to spend 1 of his bombs to get out. He's down to 1 bomb, which is the minimum to finish this escape sequence, but he'll need another one to open the back. I would have thought he would save and quit there, but he may not be aware of the refill.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It's not something that you would know unless you gonna spend a lot of time specifically looking it up, making sure that you
or just making enough mistakes.
Or learn.
You run out of bombs enough time, you start to learn things.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't usually play standard, and it's because I haven't been bothered to learn the bomb strats. I like seeing all of our different sprites here today. Have a nice variety of different, very colorful links and an old man.
The old man. The oldest.
Mm-hmm. I love when the old man rescues the old man.
I primarily play as the maiden sprite, so I get lots of jokes like that when I'm in View Sound.
Nice. Yeah, barbecue sauce is doing a little bit of hoping to get a couple of bombs dropped there from those guards, but did not have any luck.
Yeah, and with no other weapons, he's not going to be able to farm for bombs either. So maybe he'll get lucky and find one in a chest. Looks like not.
Yeah, speaking of chests, now at least we've gotten rid of our map, which is kind of our bogus item. We know we're going to have 3 items in the final few chests at the end of the escape here in the sewer.
Old Man Sunshine does spend a bomb to kill a plethora of rats there, hoping to get an extra bomb drop, but no such luck. Durand using the tried and true hold the bomb over your head and hope for the best strat. Oh, Quizbull unfortunately kills the wrong rat. He's down to 2 bombs here. Ah, poor Quizbull, taking a death and running out of bombs. Fortunately, he gets another chance. He gets a 3-bomb refill here to try again. He will have to go back through the sewers, though. Barbecue Sauce does kill the right rat with his final bomb. Unfortunately, he's going to be missing out on this hook shot in the back of Escape. Hopefully, he finds the glove real early and gets back there.
Yeah, it's kind of a shame to miss out on the early part of Escape because, I mean, you're kind of expected to be able to get there in Standard, but, we'll get there eventually. It's just going to be, might be another minute or 2 before they can head back down there to pick up that armor and that hook shot.
Yeah, the real scary thing here is that it's possible that the hookshot fully locks access to the only other available glove.
Ugh.
In which case, you would have to go through the entire escape all over again.
Yeah, that would not be fun.
Oh, Quizbull does get the key rat, but it again runs out of bombs.
Mm-hmm. So in the Lost Woods, we had... Oh, no, Quizbull.
Oh, no.
He's so close, but so far.
On the plus side, he will have 3 bombs as he goes back through and does not need to kill the key rat again. So he will get his hook shot.
Yes, at least that's a consolation prize along with the blue mail as well. So we have an ether in the Lost Woods. We've got one of our 3 potential medallions that we may need to get into Turtle Rock or Misery Mire.
A very taunting 3 bombs from the lumberjack.
Ooh, we got a moon pearl in Blind's hut.
Definitely a nice item. We'll all want to find that. So, considering the items that they found already, I don't know about you, but to me, it looks like it's an Agaseed.
It's pointing that way, unless we... And now, if we find a sword, everybody, of course, wants a sword, but then that's another piece of the Aghanim puzzle, especially if you find a couple of them pretty quickly. Another thing would be if we find a sword and a cape, then that's pretty much just the calling card to go visit Aghanim.
So Aghanim by itself would only give the runners access to East Death Mountain, so it's very common in Agaseeds to also find the hookshot, which would give access to West Death Mountain. Of course, it might just be like Glove and Lamp leads to the mountain, and then the hookshot over and you find a hammer or something. But that's boring.
Now we also have some flippers found here early, so we're seeing a lot of things cut off. We're not going to be seeing any dark rooms. We're not going to be seeing any fake flippers. Well, we might see fake flippers if somebody wants to do some water walking, but we don't need to. So that does open up a fair number of checks that can be done once people kind of farm a few rupees, because they like to route that really expensive check into King Zora and with a few other things.
Quizbull tosses one of his last 2 bombs at the escape to show them how he feels.
Right there with you, man.
He might regret that if he doesn't find bombs pretty soon.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna hope now with only one bomb. You gotta go into the place that has one of the places that has the most chests and really hope. Oh, or get a really good tree pull.
Tree pull coming in clutch.
Mm-hmm. So far, Kakariko hasn't had a huge amount of value. A little bit.
All right, on Aga watch with the flippers, the hookshot, and the lamp. I'm at like 60% Aga required.
So nothing in the library, nothing in the race game worth going after. This is where we're going to see people maybe starting to spread out a little bit as to whether they decide to head into South Hyrule or maybe take the gamble and go east. I don't believe we've had a check of the map yet. It will be interesting to see what we're working with here in the Light World.
I believe Duran did one like right at the beginning of the game before he even entered the Uncle Drop, and it was 3 crystals in the Light World.
Uh-huh. Any red crystals or just blue crystals?
I didn't get a good look at it because he was so fast, but I think it was just 3 blues.
We'll probably get a full confirmation, but usually the red ones do stand out.
I don't know how people do it that fast. I open the map and I gotta look at the screen, look at the tracker, look at the screen, look at the tracker.
Yeah, I have to take a second and just make sure that I'm kind of embedding it in my mind, especially the Dark World map check. There's so many spots to look at, and I really don't want to accidentally assume that something is a crystal when it's not. We've all been there.
Definitely ruined a few seeds doing that.
Yeah, it's nothing like waiting for that crystal to drop and it's a pendant instead, and especially if it's a green or sorry, the blue or red one, you're like, oh, this is a thing. Mini Moldorm Cave, very nice to find the hook shot early on to make this cave a little bit more bearable, although Durand is having some issues with these Moldorms.
They don't like to stand still, but the hookshot is a very, very efficient weapon against them.
Really? Only a bottle in there?
Not very helpful.
No, it does open Sick Kid next time they happen to be in Kakariko, but I don't think we're going to be seeing anybody going out of their way to go there right now.
I have one goal for this race. All I want to see happen. I want somebody to try and death warp with that fairy in their inventory.
Oh, that's mean.
It happens to me so much. It would make me feel so much better about myself if I knew other people made that mistake.
All right. If it's going to make you feel better about yourself, then I hope for it too.
As long as it's not Quizball. I feel bad for Quizball after that escape.
Yeah, that was a rough start.
Duran's going at a good clip. He can make that mistake for me.
Yeah, that sounds good.
He can spare the time.
Speaking of sparing the time, both Durand and Barbecue Sauce heading over to say hello to this hobo and take some of his money. I guess he's fairly flush for a hobo, but not paying off that particular swimming check, but a little bit more funds to the Zora, some funds for the Zora piggy bank.
Now we are 20 rupees short of Zora here on Durand's screen.
Yeah,
he gets 2 checks right here, and there might even be some rupees up on the ledge, but this runs a very dangerous risk of orphaning Zora.
Yeah, that would be a shame.
No love there.
Found the silvers though. Not a bad find, but not worth very much right now.
Worth noting, he did not ditch his fairy to replace it with a potential potion. So our accidental death warp is still in play.
Yeah, well, and no rupees on the ledge, so do have to orphan that Zora attempt.
And opts not to try farming with bombs. Good idea.
Wow, Old Man Sunshine took a little pilgrimage to the Ice Rod Cave and found an Ice Rod.
Andy. Of course, everybody knows that Ice Rod's vanilla location is in Turtle Rock, not the Ice Rod Cave. So Durand's kind of running low on checks he can do, so he's opting to go for item density here. He's going to head to Sahasrarla's hut and potentially into Eastern after if he doesn't find anything here.
Yeah, I'd like to see an
There's still,
early
like,
Eastern play.
Like, we still have, like, a Genis Cave, and Zora's still a big question mark.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kind of a shame to miss out on that. With only a few rupees to go, of course.
All right, he finds a glove. I'd say that puts the possibility of Aga being required down to, like, 20%.
Yeah, now we're looking at a big Death Mountain expedition, probably.
Yeah, he'll be able to climb in logic the mountain and with the hookshot get over to East Mountain where there's like I don't know, like 30 million checks. Probably one's the hammer.
Almost definitely one is the hammer. If not, maybe a mirror. There's probably going to be something. Maybe a sword. I don't know. We'll find something in there.
Mitts would not be the worst thing to find because you'd be able to get those Dark Death Mountain checks at the exact same time.
Yeah, and all of Hookshot Cave too. That would be pretty nice. We'd also be able to see what Turtle Rock is. I'd like to see, first of all, what we have for crystals and pendants, but I'm interested to see whether we already have the medallion we need or if it's going to be a bit of a hunt.
In my experience, if you find the ice red early, Turtle Rock is definitely required and it's definitely a pendant.
Mm-hmm. And if not, it's the biggest, the biggest red herring of all.
The bait!
Yeah. That's a nice gift from that old man. Half Magic is a really nice, just like a friendly, I wish you well on your journey kind of gift to get early on. Like, it's not your progression, but you're never going to say no to Half Magic.
Unfortunately, we don't have any weapons really to make a lot of use out of it, but they'll show up eventually.
Someday, I promise we'll use magic
hard.
Someday.
Just lamp everything.
So we're gonna see a hint here from Duran. This will be our first check of a hint in this run.
That's a bow.
And a bow and a hint. What a good spectacle rock. Some cash in the fleet.
Good hint.
That is a very good hint. So that was a big red bomb, if I read that correctly. So that's the 5 and 6 crystals, which we still don't know where they are. Somewhere in the Dark World, presumably.
I would hope so.
One would hope. So it's nice. That was a really good play. Not to go into Eastern. It could be a little bit tempting when you've got that lamp and you know that all the front is in logic. But skipping out on that means that whole dungeon can get done in one fell swoop later on, no problem.
There's a lot of different philosophies with going into Eastern early. Like some people swear by it because it's so common for players not to do it. And that's such a great way to differentiate your routing against somebody that maybe you think is better than you.
Mm-hmm. I was watching Barbecue Sauce fighting with that portal there. It's always a pain getting into those when your momentum's just a little bit off and you're just trying to get into the warp zone.
So when it comes to Link to the Past tech, at the very, very top is obviously menuing, but second is swimming.
Mm-hmm.
Duran finds the mitts.
Yeah. I was gonna say, didn't you call that like directly?
Well, I mean, like there's so few items that give them tons of checks, and the mitts are just one of them. Oh, and a hammer with it.
Yep. Well, that was the one that we expected. The mitts are like the bonus. Oh, special bonus.
All right, Paradox Cave confirmed, the new Hype Cave.
Wow.
So from this point forward, this is Hype Cave, and the other Hype Cave will now be Paradox Cave.
Yeah, it's a paradox because it says it's a Hype Cave and it's not.
It's a lie.
I call it Tripe Cave.
So finding the hammer there confirms that Aga will not be required for any reason this seed.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I do not mind an Agaless seed. It's kind of it's a little bit of a drag if it's just the play that everybody knows they have to do. It's kind of fun when it's a gamble that somebody takes and then it turns out to be something that you actually really need somewhere down the line.
Yeah, there's nothing more vindicating than like doing Aga before you've full cleared the light world and then finding out later that, oh my god, it actually was required. Yes!
Yep, I didn't waste my time. Excellent!
I'm not behind!
There, Barbecue Sauce finally getting that hook shot, getting down into the sewers. Must feel nice to get that out of the way and find that there was some value down there. And I guess we're going to be seeing some tiles because our big key is downstairs.
We need to talk to somebody about the frequency that we find the Tower of Hera basement hint in Tower of Hera.
Yeah,
It's
like just
too
before.
much. It's too much.
I wonder if at some point we're going to see hint logic where you won't see, in Thieves Town, you see the hint that tells you how to get to the Dark World, and you're like, yeah, I know, thanks.
I sure hope so. I have seen people talking about how they do plan to tweak the hints in some way, but no details. And the last I heard, they weren't going to do it for this next version, but for the one after that.
I think because it's a bit of a game changer when the hints came in, and we really do need a few versions of the randomizer and just playing it a lot to really get a good sense of like what hints are great. We don't want to take out all the troll hints, or I mean, not the literal troll hints, but like you don't want it to always just be completely useful because then it just becomes like obviously you're going to check every single hint, right? But you don't want to feel like you're getting a hint that's like, why did you completely waste my time? / I'm insulted.
Yeah, as it is now, like most hints you find are gonna be complete trash. Like they're not helpful at all. But like they all have that possibility of being that one really good hint that it makes it very difficult to make the decision to just not check hints.
Yeah, it does sound very randomizer when you put it that way, though, doesn't it?
It does. In my opinion, some of the best hints are just simple ones like there's cash in Graveyard Ledge. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Yes, I like ones that tell you that an item, a place that's a little bit out of the way, has either nothing or has a mystery, a unique item, and you're like, is it a good unique item or is it the net or
Well, I think mysteries are a little more fun as commentators than actually players.
Definitely. Well, so far Durand has pretty much cleared out the Tower of Hera, not seeing a whole lot there in terms of valuable items. But we'll get a crystal under our belt at 22 minutes in. That doesn't feel too bad.
Yeah, after Tower of Hera, he'll likely go over to Spiral Cave and then Dark Death Mountain.
Yeah, we're gonna get a lot more checks. We'll get our information about the Dark World. I'm looking forward to that. As long as I can survive that Moldorm fight, not fall down that hole. If you're going to fall to Moldorm, you don't want to fall in that hole.
Yeah, doing a map check as early as you can is going to be very important in this seed because with their items right now, they have several dungeons that they can pull there. Like Eastern is completely in logic, Pod's completely in logic, Thieves Town completely in logic. And then several other dungeons are like one item away. So you really want to know early where are the pendants, where are the crystals.
Yeah, if we get a hint, where's the mirror? Does that mean we have to just run straight to swamp? There's lots of things. So there's our first crystal for Durand. And we're going to get to see something close to the optimal cave here, although without a sword, people are a little bit vulnerable when they're dashing, so we're going to see a little bit of stopping and starting, I think.
Yeah, he'll do his best and try and cancel these dashes as close to the enemy as possible and get a hook shot in real quick, just to save a little time. That last Moldorm is actually kind of difficult to do that with because you're coming up around that corner.
Yeah, who knows where it's going to be. So just a piece of heart. Now time to go and see what the Dark World has to offer.
Now he does have the option of going up to the Turtle Rock portal instead, and but without a sword, like he wouldn't be able to open it anyway. So there's no benefit to doing that here.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to have to kind of make your way through these caves anyway to get to these two bunny caves. You can get to them from the top fairly easily, but if you're already going to go all the way down there through the spiral cave, you might as well just come up this way. Good clip through the block there. Oh my.
Probably not the item you really want to find right now, but definitely a nice one.
Yeah, I love finding the item that might let you into Turtle Rock. And next thing you know, you're gonna find a sword, and it's gonna be ether to get in. And you're gonna be like, "Is this what I have to do?"
Okay.
Good. I'm wrong.
It's Bombas. We're fine.
That's exactly what you want to see. Good. I can't go in there. I don't feel bad. Q finding Bombos in here. So we wound up with one boomerang, the red boomerang. Oh, and a book.
Book, a very nice item to find right now. They have such few hearts and no sword. It makes a lot of dungeons like much more dangerous than they normally are, but Desert's not one of them.
Yeah, if you can make some progress, get a crystal, check some chests, and, maybe start upgrading yourself a little bit so that you can handle some of the less fun dungeons, then that's definitely a good option. Oh, that's all you can get around in Octorok. They're a pain.
Looks like Duranda's going to make that play right now, heading straight to Desert.
I like it. Meanwhile, Old Man Sunshine holding up a crystal, looking good. Ooh, barbecue sauce. Using that fairy. Was it a death warp? I don't think it was.
No, just a mini Moldorm gone wrong.
That's all right. Now you just have a nice empty bottle you can use for your own craft projects.
Yeah, it looks like all of our runners were paying attention and knew not to try to death warp out of the vanilla bikini chest.
Much to your chagrin.
Give it time. Give it time.
Someone will forget. It's close enough now to when they got it. They'll probably still remember it, but, later.
Durant opens the first chest here in Desert Palace and finds out it is boots locked.
Luckily, we found our boots up on the mountain, so definitely not going to be hindered by that. Hopefully we're going to find a good clue here.
Not great.
No. I mean, thanks, I guess. Might have already found that. I think there was at least one piece of heart in
Yeah,
Bookshot
I do remember
Cave.
seeing one.
Not a very item-rich dungeon is Desert Palace. May have one other potential item. I guess it's going to have to be either in the big chest or on the boss at this point.
Yeah, I feel like when you come to Desert at this point in the game, you're not really thinking, oh, there's definitely progression here. It's something I'm going to have to do, and I can definitely do it.
Yeah, might as well do it. Have not seen any hint of the flute yet, although actually we technically did, I guess.
I suppose somebody did a map check. The trackers are marking it for us.
Oh, good.
Looks like Swamp and TR are the 5-6, and then Thieves Town was one of the pendants.
Of course. Thieves Town is always a pendant.
Of course it's a pendant. You can full clear it.
Yep. Full clear it with hardly any equipment. Don't need too many hearts. Anything's fine. Yeah, why would it be a required dungeon? That would just be too convenient. I think I would call that not rando enough. Quiz Bowl now has a crystal. Barbecue sauce going to be not far behind.
Yeah, Quiz Bowl definitely going at a good pace since he got out of the escape so much later than everybody else. Making up time.
So far, Seed has been relatively linear. Haven't seen a huge amount of diversion. We're gonna see if it gets opened up a little bit. I guess once we get Desert Pals taken care of, that's gonna be like, all right, where to? Are we just full clearing Thieves Town like we were talking about, or do we pop into Skull Wood, see if there's anything in the front of there? Do we do the whole Smith chain?
Old Man Sunshine is doing the boots checks. He doesn't have the bookmark. Did he not do Dark Death Mountain? That might be bad.
That might be bad. Dark Death Mountain turned out to be, worth doing at least. May be required before going up the mountain again.
I'm a little concerned for Durand. He seems to be trying to do the hammer fight here.
That's
But
not fun.
He has bow and silvers.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice. Maybe they've forgotten that they have the bow. Maybe once they get the beeping from the taking damage, and they'll check their menu and realize.
Right. And we did just see a map check, and Pod was our third pendant.
Mm-hmm,
Another dungeon we can totally full clear.
Of course. You know what that does start to point us to at least start thinking about, though, right?
The pedestal.
I mean, we could check it. Somebody could. Somebody definitely has a
Don't
book.
die, Durand. Oh,
Ooh, boy,
saves
wow.
his fairy. He was fine, guys. He still had a fairy, but saves it, so he'll be able to death warp with it later.
Indeed, and did not waste a single arrow. 30 beautiful, shiny silver arrows ready to go.
I'm thinking he must have not realized that he had that weapon set.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, the hammer gets the job done, but that's not ideal.
No, but very nice showing. That was much more interesting for us, so we appreciate the effort.
Old Man Sunshine does have the book, it's just not marked yet.
Okay, I see.
He just checked pedestal, although I missed it. Chat says it's a sword.
Oh, well,
Fun.
That's frustrating when you haven't found a sword yet at 31 minutes in. I mean, a sword could technically be required by logic on the pedestal. Whether it would be 100% locking people out, very, very, very unlikely. I don't even think it would be possible.
Well, one of our pendants does require a sword to finish, so at most it could be Master Sword up there. Yeah, I guess if the two tablets were both swords, it's possible that Pet could be required. But that's it.
Mm-hmm. So don't get your hopes up, I guess. Unless somebody just really gets sick and tired of not having a sword. And they've already full cleared a couple of dungeons anyway because they have all the things to do it. Who knows?
I think this is a case of mind over matter. If we as a community all believe hard enough, we can make it happen, Chad.
Well, we have an adjacent to vanilla fire rod right in the chest next to the big chest in Skull Woods.
Fire Rod in Skull Woods? Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that is
kind of great.
So for the like Fire Rod in Skull Woods, it comes down to this situation. Do you dip it or do you wait for the Fire Rod? And if you wait for the Fire Rod, it's going to be a long time before you ever find that Fire Rod.
Yes, that is true. I tend to dip Skull Woods as kind of part of what I consider to be like overworld north dark Hyrule. Especially if I have the mirror, especially, and I can kind of pop over and do those checks near the graveyard and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a very common routing decision to make. Although in this seed, you also have full access to Pod and Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you don't want to go to Skullwoods because all these other things are totally in line.
Yeah, we have a huge amount of stuff that we can check now because we have Titan's Mitts, we have a hammer, we have a hook shot, we have flippers, we have everything we need to get so many places. Now it's almost a little bit intimidating where do you decide to go.
So one really kind of terrifying thing about finding the Fire Rod this early is now Ice Palace is in logic.
Yep, Ice Palace is in logic, and I mean, Turtle Rock is pretty close to... Yeah, I guess Turtle Rock is in logic as soon as we find Bombos.
And a sword. Although there's a sword on the pedestal.
Turtle Rock. Yes, we do need a sword, you're right, because otherwise we can't activate our lovely medallion.
Yeah.
So Durand is heading straight back to fight the boss. I think they might have... Yep, they have not... They found all of the items. They don't have to do that long trek around through the dark rooms, pick up the key. That's kind of nice that the seed just said, you know
Very
what, you
nice
just go
way
straight
out.
to the boss. So this is an interesting spread of our runners. 3 of them in Eastern Palace, and one of them just completely in the opposite in terms of the lightness of the world and of the location in the map. Just walking around, entering skulls as an old man. I love it.
Looks like Old Man Sunshine is headed towards the back of Skullwoods. He can open up the back, but without a sword, he cannot fight the boss.
Yeah, that's never a good time to get all the way through it, kind of psyching yourself up to fight the boss and then rub up against the vines and realize you can't actually get in. Here's our second crystal for Durand. Making short work of our most knights. Boy, that's nice with that silver arrows and bow. Even easier and nicer than doing land mola slight way, I think.
Just a piece of heart there in the back of Skullwoods. Although, Old Man Sunshine's not too unhappy to find that. He knows that's both items from the dungeon. He won't be coming back for a while.
Yeah, it is nice to find both items and just kind of, okay, it's off the table. Let's move on.
There's still the green pendant, though, which makes me nervous.
That's true. Especially since they found the fire rod in there, which just seems like an invitation, like, hey, you probably want to finish this place. Quizbull getting a crystal. Meanwhile, Durand checking out the hype cave. What are your guesses on how hype it's going to be?
You mean Paradox Cave?
Yeah.
Well, already kind of hype.
Medium hypeness.
Sword is fantastic.
Seems like that's all it's going to be. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you, sir, for your sword.
1 out of 5.
But now that does open up the ability to
the green pendant.
Yeah, it lets us get the green pendant, which could be relevant.
We are just a Bombos medallion away from being able to get Turtle Rock, and just a mirror away from Swamp Palace, both of which will be needed to get that loot.
Everybody, I'm sure, is just dying to do both of those options. It's awfully nice.
Was that sarcasm? Were you being sarcastic?
Maybe slightly. Everybody, though, totally unsarcastically, everybody loves being able to get up to Thieves Town without having to kind of go around the long way. It's just nice to be able to not have to remind yourself that you have to get all the way from the top or get into Thieves Town through the Lost Woods kind of entrance.
Definitely.
Yeah, those Titans myths, we can kind of get all this Smith stuff started.
As far as doing, if they had access to both of those dungeons now, Swamp's one of the best dungeons to do on low % equipment. Nothing in there really does a ton of damage, and although Fighter Sword Argus would be really, really slow, it's very
it would
doable.
Be good old menu boss.
And then with half magic, Hammer Trinex is not something any of our runners really want to do, but I'm pretty sure they're all capable and have done it before.
Yeah, with half magic, could be worse. Old Man Sunshine just used the fairy. Possibly might have been trying to death warp there, because they're done checking the front chests of Thieves Town.
Oh, did he? Aww. I'm so happy.
I think it was an attempted death warp. It very well could have been. So what do we have here? We have Durand checking the brewery. Barbecue Sauce following in Old Man Sunshine's footsteps and checking all the front chests in Thieves Town. Hasn't found a lot so far.
Staying in Thieves Town after the first 4 chests here in this situation can be a big move for one of our runners. Nobody wants to finish Thieves Town, especially if there's only 1 or 2 items in the back. But if you do it and there's something there,
Yeah, that is the type of gamble that can really either put you ahead or set you back.
Barbecue Sauce death warping here. Does he have a fairy?
Well, let's find out.
Darn it.
They used the fairy already.
Darn it!
So the cape, I did notice it when we were talking about something else. The cape in the Sea House there, which doesn't put a lot into logic other than it does give us the ability to do Spike Cave. There might be another piece of... no, I guess we got at least one bottle, so we should be able to do the Spike Cave at some point.
And the Barbecue Sauce already has the Cane of Burna. I'm not sure where that was, so the cape wouldn't be needed for that.
No.
So really the only thing the cape is doing is getting them 20 rupees on Bumper Cave, I guess?
I guess. Don't think anybody's going to be taking up that particular option. We're seeing Old Man Sunshine. Normally, if we have a sword at this point, you can hammer dash through these pegs, but Old Man Sunshine does not have a sword yet, so I have to do it the old-fashioned way.
Durand is going to death warp. I'm ready for it.
You can feel it in your bones.
I'm pretty sure he still has his fairy.
I think you're right.
Oh, he remembered! He remembered!
Lets the fairy out, runs away from it.
Well, good job, Durand. Fantastic.
To spite you.
You're smarter than I am. I'm sorry.
So our digging game has some love. Full heart, not a bad find. We don't have a huge number of hearts yet so far, but obviously not exactly what our runners are looking for. We're looking for... well, what are we looking for right now? Bombos would be a find that sends us up the mountain again. I'm interested to think of what our next progression will be. Will it be that Bombos? Will it be a mirror?
Yeah, one of those two items seems definitely most likely, given that we know where the flute is. And given the checks we've already seen, I think it's going to be in Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, I think you're right.
We still have, like, the Back of Thieves down, the Green Pendant, which are both in logic. The pod is such a dense item location.
Yeah, it is dense. It is completely in logic, front to back. So definitely would be a place that you want to check out. We don't want to put it off forever. Old Man Sunshine is taking the frog that will become a dwarf later on a bit of a tour of the world here, getting into some dangerous territory.
Yeah, a little interesting that he picked up the frog because, like with the bow and the hammer and the lamp in hand, going into pod seems like a very, very good play right now.
Yeah, you could decide to go into pod and just kind of ditch the frog, but then it's sort of like, why?
Yeah, we'll replace the frog.
Why did you bother? Seeing a pyramid check here from Barbecue Sauce. Just a piece of heart. Might as well grab it. Came all that way.
So, like, trying to analyze, like, the pace that our runners are going at right now, it does seem like Durand is making the best time as far as, like, getting through the game goes. But execution is not everything in Randomizer. He has not gotten that Ice Rod out of Ice Rod Cave. And if he finds more progression items too quickly, he may end up doing a double dip at Turtle Rock. Yeah. Very unfortunately.
I can definitely see that because Turtle Rock is one of those dungeons that Ice Rod is such a potential troll because absolutely nothing else in the game requires it except for the boss of that dungeon. So you can find it anywhere up to the chest right before you open that last door and head up to go and fight the boss, which, you know, means a lot of the time it can be there and is just to drive us nuts.
Both Barbecue Sauce and Old Man Sunshine opting not to go into pod, instead heading up to Catfish. And I think Durand is going to grab the Ice Rod here. Or go into Ice Palace.
Or go into Ice
6
Palace.
Hearts and one sword.
Yeah.
I mean, Okay.
Fighter sword, cold stare. Let's go.
Okay, well, he'll likely do Ice Rod Cape after this, right?
Very
I
likely.
sure hope so.
So we've got a outdated hint about a sage's closet. Not very helpful to us. Now, this is a situation where half magic is definitely going to make Duran's life easier going into this tough, like, late dungeon with the, sword made out of plastic.
Yeah, without Bombos, he's gonna have to spend 8 Fire Rod shots just to break open the icicle or iceberg that Cold Stare is sitting inside. But with half magic, he'll have 8 extra shots afterwards to take down the boss. If we get a little lucky on the Fire Rod shots, he won't have to use the hammer at all.
That would be nice because the hammer has such a tiny hitbox and those puffballs have kind of odd hitboxes. So, definitely not a recipe for fun and enjoyment, except for us. We get to watch.
And even on Blue Mail, they hit pretty hard. I think it's 3 hearts on Blue Mail.
Yeah,
And,
it's
he
surprising.
doesn't have that many hearts to work with.
Your life bar will just disappear, just disintegrate, and you're like, what happened? I love that strategy that Duran used just a moment ago to get through those Astolfos. One of those people always talk about the satisfying rooms in this game. That's one of the satisfying rooms as far as strategies go.
Gotta be Wizrobes 2 for me in Ganon's Tower.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else feels better than that one.
My favorite is in this very dungeon. Hopefully we'll get to see it. Almost definitely we will.
Which room is that?
I think they call it H room. Shaped like an H. I don't know. I like it.
Talk about satisfying kills. That is a very sexy 2-bomb and bonk strat there for a penguin lineup.
Very nice. Meanwhile, Barbecue Sauce checking out some locations here in the Dark World. Saw some money up on Bumper Cave. Not paying any attention to that. Got a hint about a shovel? Is that what I saw?
Oh, I'm distracted because I'm trying to figure out which room is the H room.
I believe we saw that there's a shovel in Turtle Rock, which is a very mean hint.
Yeah, not super helpful at this point.
It's that's a unique item in Turtle Rock, but is it a shovel that leads to a unique item, or more likely, is it a shovel that leads to 3 bombs? This is my favorite room that Duran's doing now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, did not turning into a mushroom, unfortunately. Yeah, when it goes according to plan, this room is very satisfying because it's like a little Rube Goldberg machine of kind of things that you do that just work nicely together.
Yeah, or you hug to the left as you enter and the Stalfos doesn't drop, and then you turn the corner quick enough and the bunny beam hits itself on the pot. You pick up a pot, you throw it up, and it hits that Stalfos that just dropped behind you. It's very nice.
And then you walk up and just reach through him and pull the trigger to open the chest. It's like, it just feels good.
I don't know what I'd call that room. I don't think I've ever had to name this room before. Yeah. I guess H room is pretty descriptive.
Yeah, it's shaped like an H. There you go.
So Barbecue Sauce turns into Smith, only getting a piece of heart for his trouble, though.
Yeah, that's a bit of a tour to take somebody on for just 1 piece of 1 heart.
How is no one gone to pod?
It is very surprising that nobody's gone to pod. Avoiding it like the plague, in fact. I think we're going to see Quiz Bowl doing the same thing, going up and checking Pyramid and checking Catfish before going into pod. Nobody wants to go there. Some folks in chat are wondering if they might be waiting for the mirror. I mean, I can totally understand that because mirror definitely makes pod more fun, but at this point, there's just so many checks you can do, and you have all of those items that just logically kind of just hint at it. Just seems like an option that we'll probably be seeing. We'll probably be seeing soon. Now that I've said that, if they find anything that points them anywhere else, we'll probably not see pod for a while.
Yeah, often when we're talking about like routing rando, people like to mention reading the logic, which is a real thing, but not a real thing. Because you can it can help you like make decisions, but you can't just read the logic to really know where anything is. But
Yeah.
the idea here is that the more items are required to do something, and the earlier you get those items, and the more things that those items unlock, the more likely it is you're going to find something there. And Pod, requires several items to full clear. They have all those items very early, and there's a lot of stuff in Pod.
Yeah. And it sort of makes you wonder if it might be there's an item on the boss situation, because with all those items, you can get a lot of pod done without the hammer, and you can get a lot of it done unless it's locked without the bow. But having both of those items means that you can do everything and murder Helmasaur King. But also, all those items are required to just beat the game, so it could just be a big
Absolutely.
red herring.
I mean, I think that's a big part of the reason like why Duran decided to put Ice Palace. Except Ice Palace looks even better than Pod, because even though it's less items, it's also a crystal, which you kind of want. It's a little important.
Yeah, meanwhile, Durand wants this crystal and is willing to smack some puffballs with a hammer to get it. Ooh, down to 2 hearts, though.
I'm not sure why he didn't choose to spend all his magic first.
Yeah, might as well.
That would have been mine for sure.
Get rid of a couple of those puffballs, at least. Because it's such a long trek to get back to this boss if you happen to just have that happen.
And unfortunately, he does not have a fairy.
Ooh, it's a bit of a setback. Not a game changer necessarily, but it does not feel good.
I suppose not spending your magic means that he can jump right back into the dungeon.
I guess so. And obviously, not having to make any checks along the way will make it fairly fast. Ah, yes, we see Quiz Bowl, by the way, here doing the nice hammer dashes that Old Man Sunshine was not able to do. For some reason, if you don't have the sword, you can't do item dashes, or at least you can't hit things down with the hammer while doing them.
Yeah, Link to the Past is weird. It's a weird game, and it does weird things.
It sure is. Not a badly programmed game. People like to say that about games that are broken. It's just old because it's been around for long enough, and we found all of the parts of it that can be broken.
I know it sounds crazy, but bear with me for a second. But it's almost as if the developers of A Link to the Past in the early 1990s had not anticipated that 20 years later we'd be doing a randomized version of it.
I'm
sure they did, but sometimes it feels like that,
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're going out on a limb there. Actually, it's very interesting that this game works so well as a randomizer. But there's so many little combinations of items that are required to do things that in the vanilla game are fairly satisfying, but in Rando it just winds up paying off in a way that just makes you appreciate all of that kind of redundancy and different combinations of redundancy that they built in.
Oh, definitely. And with randomized games being so popular nowadays, like you see them all the time, not even just Zelda games, but like randomized Pokemon games and Mario games and all kinds of stuff. A Link to the Past, in my personal opinion, does it the best. It feels like the game was made to be randomized.
In fact, I have a hard time. I started playing this game as randomizer because I just found it interesting, and I have tried to play it vanilla, and it just doesn't appeal to me as much because I like not knowing where everything is. That's kind of the game to me now.
Oh, that's where the blue cane was. On Zora.
Oh, well, that's not a horrible purchase. At least he's giving you some bang for your buck. Meanwhile, we're getting our dip into Pod finally. Thank you, barbecue sauce.
Duran starts his refight here with Cold Stare. Hopefully he uses that fire rod more effectively. Okay, yeah, he's going to spend his magic this time.
No
Hopefully
messing
getting
around.
down one or two of those puffs before I happen to switch to hammer.
Maybe one
Oh
more
no!
shot. Oh no, this is dangerous. Oh no. Oh, that's a shame. Such a good lead, and it's such a long trek down.
That's a very big setback for Duran dying twice like that. Looks like he's gonna leave and just come back later.
Yeah, at this point, you got no magic. You have to try to build up your entire magic meter. I mean, if you only get it done halfway, you're only going to have half magic to actually get into the fight with. No, better to cut your losses. You've already done everything you can do in the dungeon. You know there's no items except for what there might be on Cold Stare. Time to go do other stuff.
So Quizbowl opting to go into Skull Woods without the Fire Rod instead of over to Pod. He will get rewarded for this, getting the Fire Rod here.
Indeed. Maybe we're going to see that play to go kill the moth. That would be fun.
And there is Bombos Medallion, bow locked in Palace of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
That pod will definitely be required for all of our runners.
Indeed. And now our Turtle Rock is... it's in logic now.
Totally full clearable. It's so surprising to me how three of our runners just refuse to go to Palace of Darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Pod is it's a pretty dangerous place to go though.
Yeah, without the mirror, it is a bit of a drag. But we do have boots, and it's not the most difficult dungeon technically. With just
it's just like a big time sink in this dungeon, especially because with how the key layout's working, you have to find at least 4 keys in the first 6 chests. Like you have to go really deep in the dungeon before you actually can start finding the items.
I thought Old Man had found the mushroom for a second there, the way he was approaching the witch's hut, but no, just going in to grab a potion. Good pickup. So we'll see as barbecue sauce keeps working their way through here, whether it was really just that one bow-locked spot that the Seed wanted us to go and check out, or whether there's something in the dark maze here, or even on the Helmasaur King himself.
I think it's very likely that even if there is an item on Helmasaur, that he will leave. Helmasaur is it takes a very long time to get to the boss just to find out one item, and the one item you did find in the dungeon gives you access to another 5 item dungeon. Like it doesn't feel very good to stay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There they go out. Time to
he
go
didn't
for greener pastures.
Big chest. I guess it must have been map and compass left behind.
Yeah, I think so.
Quizbowl is opting to fight Mothula here. Maybe we'll get a look at Green Pendant.
That's what I want to see. I want to see a Mothula fight with a fighter sword. Always fun. Maybe did they didn't pick up that bee bottle, I don't think. That would have been a little bit of a fun option to use that here, but with half magic and with the fire rod should be all right. Yeah, still has that fairy in a bottle as well. Wow, finishes the moth off with the fire rod. Very nicely done.
Yeah, excellent fight there from Quizbowl.
I'm excited to see what that green pendant is.
Old Man Sunshine headed into Ice Palace. Hopefully he has an easier time than Duran did earlier.
I hope so. Not a lot more in terms of equipment, but does have a blue potion, which is a big boon in this dungeon.
I love that word. Boon.
Look where barbecue sauce is heading.
OMG.
Well, first to Hookshot Cave.
Oh, he didn't do Dark Death Mountain before.
No, I guess not. So has picked up the Cane of Samaria. Knows that they have bombos to get in there. Well, let's see if there's anything. Maybe there's a sword in here. No, there's not. Sorry, there's a book.
Well, I can use that book to go find out there's a sword on the pedestal, I suppose.
Yeah, if you wanted to get that sword before coming up here, you could.
Which is totally in logic, by the way, to get
Yeah.
that sword.
Saving and quitting. Aw, no Turtle Rock.
What? No, you have to do Turtle Rock.
They got the book and said, I can go do desert instead of Turtle Rock. Maybe I'll do that with my plastic sword.
Yeah, Turtle Rock is it's a little bit of a dangerous dungeon.
Yeah.
I'd still rather do Turtle Rock here than Ice Palace, though.
Yeah, neither of them are particularly appealing options. I mean, I would definitely have done pod before either of them because I know I can handle pod. But our runners are, let's just say, a little bit better than me. So I don't blame them trying to do the big boy dungeons a little bit sooner.
Durant taking a Death Warp in Palace of Darkness. Will he be going to Helmosaur King?
Oh, I hope so. Thinking about it? No.
Nope. Just leaving quicker, I guess. To save and quit. Okay.
Yeah, Death Warp to realize, wait a minute, what am I doing?
I thought maybe we were going to see like a blind pet pull.
Oh, that would have been nice. Can it be a blind okay, it can be a blind pedestal pull because the Thieves' Town is one of the pendants. I wouldn't be too bad. Palace of Darkness and then Thieves' Town and Skull Woods is kind of just a physical overworld routing situation.
Yeah, I imagine some other racers in the run might end up doing a blind pet pull just because of how convenient access to all three pendants was.
Mm-hmm. And even knowing it's a sword, if you wound up clearing all those dungeons anyway, like it would be the thing that would make me go and say, well, I might as well kill the boss. I'm here. If there's got an item on him, let's go for it. So we got a hint. I'm glad I caught it the second time around because I missed it the first time. There was a Misery Mire hint in Ice Palace saying that basically the fire-locked side is Bubkiss. So that's kind of nice. I like that hint.
Was that right? Map and compass?
Yeah, map and compass both fire-locked. So don't even have to go over there. Just got to flip the switch and save ourselves a key. So that makes Misery Mire.
How will they find out where the boots are then if they don't check the hint? All right, I think it's time. Durand goes to the mountain. I think we're going Turtle Rock.
Oh yeah, and the shame about that is, I don't think Durand has the ice rod yet.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think not getting the mirror in Ice Palace kept him away from Ice Rod Cave.
Mm-hmm. So that is it's another big gamble to take and a totally understandable one. As we were discussing earlier, Turtle Rock has a lot of capacity to have the ice rod in it. Not today.
Yeah, I mean, when we think about Turtle Rock, about how much stuff you actually need just to walk in the front door, much less to kill the boss, having all those items early makes you really think there's probably something in there.
Mm-hmm. And it seems like in this logic in particular, there tends to be a fair good chance of value in there.
At this point, we're only a mirror away from probable no mode. We still won't know for sure until we find what medallion's required for Mire. But we know where the Master Sword is.
We sure do. Yeah, if there is something that's a progression item that's on a tablet, then Master Sword is required, and it is a pedestal seed. So
Oh no. Duran goes to open Turtle Rock and finds out he doesn't have enough magic.
oh no, that feels bad. That is not a good feeling. Hoping to find some magic. This store is
Yeah, he'll
not
have
selling.
to save and quit.
That's a shame. That's a trip up the mountain that you already didn't want to have to make. Now you're sort of like, I guess, is there somewhere else I should go?
He could have grabbed magic in Super Bunny Cave, but without the mirror, he would still have to reclimb the mountain just to open the portal.
Yeah, gonna head up to the witches, pick up a potion or two. It's not a bad choice in general when heading up to Turtle Rock with just a fighter sword.
Old Man Sunshine starting his Cold Stare fight. He's on 5 hearts right now. Lots of really nice fire rod shots early, though.
Yeah, got 2 of the puffballs down.
No hammer required.
Oh, beautiful.
Except to, like, get there, I guess.
And has the help of a bee? Good bee strats, Old Man Sunshine. I think Durand is going to go talk to a fish. Quizbowl pretty close to heading down to Cold Stare as well. I was noticing Quizbowl using the well-loved strategy of getting to the big chest by kind of clipping using the hook shot. Fun fact, if you have the mirror, don't try to make the blocks disappear with the mirror because you're in a dungeon.
Please do that. And please do it on the restream.
That's one of the things you have to do at least once just to remember what it's like to just set yourself up for failure.
It's one of the techs like I stream Link's Best Randomizer all the time, and erasing the blocks is one of the techs I get asked about the most often.
Mm-hmm.
And I always make sure to tell them, but don't try it in Swamp. It will not work. Do not do that.
Swamp. Don't try it in Ice Palace or Swamp. Do not do it. It is not worth it. Quizbowl fighting the puffballs, getting 2 of them down. Making short work the 3rd one. Nicely done.
It looks like Durand has overcome his Cold Stare problem and is coming back. He's got potions. That's all you need.
Going back for another take, another staring contest. This one's going to be 1.
So Old Man Sunshine's here in Palace of Darkness. I would love to see him just jet out as soon as he gets the Bombos Medallion.
Yeah, unless it turns out, and I don't think that it will, but unless it turns out that Helmsaur King had something, or that it's Pedestal Seed, that's the play. Get in, use your bow, get out.
It would make sense for him to dip out after getting that 1 progression item, just because he's put off Pod for so long. And of course, the reason he put off Pod for so long is because he doesn't want to be here.
Nobody wants to be here.
Like, the earlier you get into a pendant dungeon, the more likely you are to just full clear it. So when you wait this long, you're really just hoping to get something really good early and just leave. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if he'll see Bombos as being good enough, though.
Yeah, tough to say. It could be considered good enough, could also be considered bad enough. Especially since that's the key to Turtle Rock. It might make you decide, what if Mirror's in here? I better make sure that if it is, I don't do Turtle Rock all first. Quizbowl in Thieves Town now. Doing the front few chests at least. We'll see if they decide to do a few more.
Yeah, he's put off the pendants even more so than our other runners. except for Skolas. Like this is his first time in Thieves Town.
Mm-hmm.
He has not been in Palace of Darkness yet, so I think in his position it makes a lot of sense for him to full clear this looking for progression.
Yeah, I think you're right. But we'll see. Or will we see an actual death warp? With all those hearts, that would take a while.
He's gonna stay.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Sweet. All right, we get to see something we haven't seen.
I'm excited. Meanwhile, barbecue sauce in my favorite room, just calling everybody's attention to it. And of course, Duran fighting Cold Stare. Dilly-dallying a little bit with those skulls. Almost getting hit by the Stalfos as it woke up, but it's fine. Meanwhile, Durand, using a potion, gonna continue throwing fire at these balls. Nice.
4th time's the charm. Or 3rd time.
Not
The 3rd
messing
time?
around at all. Good old Boots and Paradox cave hint. Very useful.
So at this point, it's really unlikely we're going to see a Master Sword pull from Duran, Barbecue, and Old Man. Just because they've already all been in pod and know that he doesn't have an item.
Mm-hmm.
But Quizzball has not been there.
Nope.
So assuming he doesn't just find Go mode and here in Thieves Town,
I mean,
he might opt to just finish the dungeon just to get that sword off Ped.
now if we find the mirror in here, that would be that would definitely be sending them in a different direction, not sending them up Death Mountain to clear out Turtle Rock. Old Man Sunshine walking back through the dark maze. Are we gonna see? We're gonna see some more of Palace of Darkness. We're gonna see all of it.
He
I
is
believe
going to
we
fight
are.
the boss.
I like it.
Just to be clear, this makes no sense. I mean, there is an item. There's an item on Helmstar. I just saw his map. I thought there was a map or compass, but he does have all of those items.
The big chest in Thieves Town, red mail. Quizzbowl quickly changing outfits in front of the maiden there. Hopefully she looked away.
The maiden is pure. She would never.
Of course. She would never unless she stepped into light. Quizzbowl starting the blind fight fairly strong, a tiny bit off script, but obviously with the red mail, not too much of a problem. Good old red pendant. And barbecue sauce barbecuing some some eyeballs. Does barbecue sauce have a fairy? Yes!
Yay!
To the rescue! It does enable you to play fairly recklessly when you have a fairy, and then you know you're going to have some iframes to just throw some fire around when you're done.
the better my sword, the more damage I take.
And Old Man going to finish off the Helmosaur King with an arrow here. All right, what do you have, Helmosaur King? Just a heart. So old man save and quit after picking up the item. Does that actually still give them? No, he does not have a pendant. So if it turns out to be like the very unlikely pendant seed.
So what happens is the boss's existence is tied to the item he dropped. So if Old Man Sunshine were to return to the room, Helmosaur will not be there, and the pendant will just fall from the sky.
Okay. So
but if he wants the pendant, he will have to go back there.
Walk all the way through the dungeon. Kill all the little turtles. Yeah, that's not a good time. So we're not likely going to see that unless it does turn out to be the fabled sword to activate tablet to get go mode seed.
God, I hope that happens.
That would be amazing because it's like it would be like the weirdest of fetch quests, right?
Yeah, I mean, essentially that's what happens in the vanilla game, right? Like your pedestal required for a sword to get Darkhold access.
You're right. That's exactly what happens in vanilla. So Durand working their way through Turtle Rock. Barbecue Sauce is just going to open it up here. And Old Man Sunshine kind of in step here. Love that sync.
You know, it doesn't have to be two swords on the tablets. I just realized. If the mirror is on one of the tablets, then if the mirror lock locations could lock two swords.
Yep. It's probably there's a sword in Swamp Palace. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume there's a sword in Swamp Palace. It just seems to be what my luck is, I guess.
Yeah. If Swamp Palace being mirror locked also means that Ganon's Tower is completely mirror locked. So having just two swords in Swamp and Ganon's Tower and all the mirror lock locations in the game, that seems not too unlikely. This pedestal might be required.
I mean, that's what I want. That's of course what I want. Although the shovel that Durand just found in Turtle Rock leading to the mirror would also be kind of fun.
Yeah, the mirror would have to be on one of the tablets for this to come true.
Yeah.
Of course, we have not seen Ether Tablet, which is the only tablet that could even have the mirror. I don't believe any runner has opted to walk over there and check it real quick.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Couldn't be the other one. Need the mirror to get at that one.
So it's still unlikely, but
yeah,
possible.
Unlikely, but fun to dream about. We got some time. Durand heading to the laser bridge here, so we'll get our last glimpse of what items might be in Turtle Rock.
No mirror, no mirror, no mirror.
Agreed. No sword, no sword. That shield is kind of mean. Oh, still be in this last chest. Oh.
Always the last one, right?
Drawing it out for us. Ah. Gotta save and quit. They were hoping that was the ice rod.
You know, with how late it's been, and with how many opportunities he's had to go to Ice Rod Cave, I'm a little worried that maybe he thinks he did check it.
It is definitely a thing that can happen because it's such a particular kind of a weird location, a little bit out of the way, and something that you often check early and don't usually check later unless you find the flute, which, you know, nobody's got yet. Nobody's got
yet. If I remember what happened was after Mini Moldorm Cave, he swam up to Hobo, which is a pretty common play to make if you're going to swim back down to Ice Rod Cave.
There's our mirror.
Why you gotta ruin everything, Shovel?
Ugh. Oh well.
We still have the dream of both tablets being swords.
Okay, all right.
It's still alive. Pen's still alive, okay?
It may, even if it is sort of logically alive, it's very unlikely to be like our caliber of runner necessity alive, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's gonna pull pedestal just for the sake of having a temple sword.
No, or butter sword. Can you imagine? Well, gotta clear these dungeons out.
We may end up seeing a pet pull just from Quizbolt, just because he's already gotten the other 2 pendants. I'm
Yeah,
not sure if he did the check, though.
I don't believe so. But I mean, at this point, if you've already kind of committed to doing this whole dungeon, you're gonna save and quit. Guess not.
Really? You did the other 2 pen? Why you gotta be like that?
Just to spite us. So Durand, of course, getting that mirror.
Oh, Durand with the hint saving his life.
That is a good hint. Also kind of a mean hint for everybody else, I think, but very good for Durand.
Yeah, at this point, he knows he messed up. He knows he's gonna double dip Turtle Rock when he didn't have to. But at least he knows, right?
Yeah. So we're pretty close now. Because Misery Mire is a crystal, we don't know, and we haven't been able to get there yet. We don't have a flute. We don't know yet what is required to get in, and that could potentially be Quake, which could be
on
a tablet.
Yes. It's still alive.
Still alive. Now, if we find another sword in here, less
that
alive.
ruins everything.
It does. But at least it's another fun little fetch quest.
All right, 3 swords in GT.
Quizball's checking this tablet. A better copy of your sword.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We only need 1 sword in GT and Quake on a tablet. Or another sword on the tablet.
So we have to hope Durand does not find a sword in the Swamp Palace, which very well could happen.
Well, the thing from Durand is he's probably not going to be full clearing this.
Yeah, thought about skipping this bottom one, decided to go for it.
Because he has knowledge of where the ice rod is. He knows where the flute is, and it's only like a 1 in 3 chance that he's even going to need Quake. And the likelihood of the sword being in GT is really, really high at this point.
Yeah.
So I think like the standard play here is just open stuff on the way. Otherwise, pretend you're in go mode.
Yeah, that's definitely the sort of what we're seeing now, I think, from Durand. Let's pretend we're in go mode and just hope that it happens. Also, grab the ice rod on our way up. Not a horrible trek to go to the ice rod. After completing Swamp, you're at least roughly in that neck of the woods.
I think he'll probably go get the flute first and then just activate it and fly on over.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one too.
Barbecue ran into a little trouble, unfortunately taking a death on Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
He did have the safety door.
Yeah, and now does not have a fairy anymore, I don't believe.
I'm just so excited about this Sword on Ped. I've seen Sword on Ped many, many times, but never was it ever required.
Yeah, that would be very interesting if it was logically required.
I play so many seeds. Every time I see something I've never seen before, it makes me very happy.
All right, here comes the menu boss from Durand.
It is actually a lot faster to find your sword spins here, but it's a lot trickier than just using the hammer.
Yeah, that's tough. Old Man Sunshine heading up to Trinex, seeing a comment that Old Man Sunshine may have already made this trek and been stymied at the Trinex's front door here. We're seeing Barbecue Sauce now doing another menu battle, 2 of them going on at once here.
Rip your menu time.
By getting that one head out of the way and getting the starting to work on the one that can cast ice on the floor before it does that attack and starts to make your life a little bit difficult. So that's kind of nice to get in there before that happens.
Yeah, keeping it from putting ice on the floor is actually kind of challenging, and it's really RNG dependent.
Yeah, in fact, Old Man Sunshine went for that head first, probably for that exact reason. Just get that out of the way, stop that from even being something you have to worry about, and then we can focus on the fire head. Durand has defeated the menu.
No sword on Argus, so we're fine.
Mm-hmm.
They're not. We're fine.
Is gonna head over instead of grabbing that flute.
Aw,
Just
that's a
taking
little
the taking a little run over here.
I mean, it's not the end of the world, but this is a time loss versus coming over here with the flu. Because he'll have to re-enter the Dark World to pick up the Pyramid Fairy Bomb.
Yeah, I guess it's all in all, probably not a huge amount of difference. Meanwhile, Old Man Sunshine and Barbecue Sauce both holding up crystals at the exact same time. Wow, they were just in lockstep going through there. However, Barbecue Sauce taking off, Old Man Sunshine going to do a bit more exploring here on Death Mountain.
Yeah, I think we'll see Spike Cave.
I'm excited. Spike Cave could have some fun things. We have both of the invincibility items.
I sure hope Durand remembers the hint about the flute.
I hope so too. Oh, that looks like they're heading up to.
He's going to the cave. Yeah, I think maybe he forgets.
Barbecue Sauce checking out the information about who has, who you need to take care of before you can get your bomb. Needing that swamp palace first.
Yeah, which the mirror was on the shovel, which he does have and will likely do right now.
Right. I see. Durand needs to... So Turtle Rock is the other...
he didn't have Turtle Rock done.
Yeah,
right.
It's the other crystal. So they have to go up. Oh, what a shame to have to do this again and then get access to your pyramid. That's... that doesn't feel very good overall in terms of, usage of your time running up to a mountain and just doing a lot of walking.
Yeah, this is one of the worst double dips to do. Like, I think it's right at about a 3-minute time loss to have to walk through this dungeon again versus doing it on your first trip.
Mm-hmm. So Barbecue Sauce picked up the mirror. Probably thinking what they want to do next. Get that 5-6, get that flute. Quizbowl making good use of those invincibility items.
Certainly makes Lazy Bridge a lot simpler.
Yeah, with half magic, it's like, you know what? I'm just gonna treat myself.
He is taking the safety door. I don't think he'll need it though.
Probably not, but I can understand. Not a bad idea when you're going into a Trinex fight with a Kakariko fighter sword. That could be. You can get yourself into a sticky situation.
Yeah, Hammer Trinex is one of the worst boss fights when you're first learning the game. And compared to like low percent Mothula or Blind or something, it's a lot more common to have to fight Trinex with the hammer than say Blind.
Mm-hmm.
Barbecue headed into Swamp. I expect we'll see him do the same thing that Durand did and just completely skip left side.
Yeah, I'm very unlikely we're going to see somebody heading over there, but depending on what the item pickups are, if there's any more than one item over there, people might, but I wasn't keeping good track of the items as people were going through. I don't remember seeing maps and
I have
compasses.
no idea. Not a clue.
I don't remember seeing maps and compasses in Swamp, so maybe they're both over there. That would be ideal.
Yeah, for sure.
Quiz Bowl working on Trinex. Ooh. Getting the 2 side heads out of the way. Should be able to take care of the middle head, which has a pretty predictable first little bit of movement here. How predictable is this actually? It does start chasing you specifically here after a while, but the very first part is always the same, right?
Oh yeah, no, like Trinex is completely predictable. He does exactly the same thing every time. And then once he gets around the corner, you control his pattern.
Yeah, and that it's fair. I find it's easier for me to lead the final head of Trinex around than to actually get out of the way of it when it tries to come at me after the tail wiggles. For some reason, I just can't dodge that. I don't know why. Quiz Bowl now. Trying not to get killed by Lionels. Oh boy. Nice half heart finish there for Durand.
Visible also opting in to do Spike Cave. And Barbecue Sauce heading to left side. It's an interesting play to be sure. So like if we think about it from Barbecue Sauce's point of view, right? The only things he needs to finish the game are a sword, which is likely to be in GG, the flute, which if he read the hint, he knows where it is, and maybe Quake, but it's like a 1 in 3 chance that he actually needs that. So committing to this 2 minutes or whatever it takes to do left side is a little weird. But oh boy, if there's something over here, he's really far ahead.
If there's something over here, like if there is a Quake that's needed, that's over there, well, then that is a huge win, but definitely a gamble. Durand getting our big red bomb. Meanwhile, Quiz Bowl picking up the mirror and doing some item dashing there, leaving a mark in the sacred grove. That's not very nice.
Oh, is it sacred?
I don't know. I just said
you just make that up.
I was like, it's probably sacred. There's animals like trotting beautifully
like
through it as a dead child, you know.
Yeah.
It's sacred now.
All right, left side swamp. We have 20 rupees.
Oh, here it comes.
And a moment of truth. Dun da 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 da. 3 bombs.
Oh boy, not a good usage of your time. Finally, 1 hour 32 minutes in. Just shy of 1 hour 33 minutes. Durand has a flute.
Which is kind of go mode, but not really.
Could be go mode. It's going to be no mode, I think. Or at least, you know.
Yeah, once he does this medallion check, we'll know for sure.
I am so excited to see what is required to get into Misery Mire. Small chance that we're going to see something fun. I mean, you know, we're going to see something fun either way, but some small chance we're going to see something that gives us commentators particular joy.
We just want it to be Quake locked.
Yes. That's all we want.
We'll start small. Just give me Quake locked Mire.
Yeah, Quake locked would at least mean we've got to do a little bit more hunting around before we can actually get up to Ganon's tower. Right. In case you were wondering what we're working toward this whole time, we're trying to kill Ganon, and he lives in a tower, and it's on Death Mountain, and we need 7 crystals to get in.
Oh, that's why they keep doing dungeons.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
why.
I'm following now. I get it.
Yeah, everybody up to speed? All right, here we go.
Okay. Moment of truth, number 2.
All right.
Please, oh please, oh please.
Ah,
Oh, that ruins everything.
Ether, why'd you do this to me? Of course, I'm surprised Duran's not checking that the Meyer shed. Very well
Yeah,
could
dude,
be a sword in there.
You totally do Mario Shed in this situation.
Yeah.
So Pet is not dead. There is just only one possibility left for Pet to be required, and that is another sword on Bombo's tablet, which we have not seen.
Yeah, it's getting deader, but it is not 100% dead yet. Though, if it does turn out to be absolutely required, which again, very unlikely, what a tough situation for most of our runners to be in. One of whom, I believe Quizbowl, can basically just run back into Pod and grab it.
Yeah, he definitely have the shortest trip to the pad.
But, you know, if you're a betting person, I probably wouldn't bet on there being required
Probably not required. I accept that. I'm a dreamer, though.
Yeah, you know what? I support your ability to dream. I'm gonna dream about one of these silver arrows. Yeah, hitting that creepy squid-like eyeball very nicely. So we got a hint telling us there's nothing in Meyer on this fire-locked side. I'm not sure if Durand is the one that got that hint, though.
And Barbecue will not be giving us a Bombo's tablet check. So it remains a mystery.
That's a shame. I mean, kind of not. I like that it's still a mystery. It's a mystery until we find a Master Sword.
I mean, there's only one more sword left in the pool, and it could be in another horrible location, like say Graveyard Ledge, someplace very few of our runners would ever even think of going to before Gainus Tower.
Yeah, we're just at that part now. Everybody's been racing for almost an hour and 40 minutes, and you know, you wanting to get up Ganon's Tower at this point.
The last sword is probably in Ganon's Tower.
Almost definitely. It'd be kind of fun if it was on Vitreous, though.
It would make Durand feel a lot better.
Yeah, I do like to have that sword before walking into Ganon's Tower. Preferably tempered sword, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And Quizbowl trying to hit this thing with an arrow. It's a pain. Gets it done. While Old Man Sunshine continues fighting with the menu.
Quizbowl. He's finishing up Swamp. Will he check Bombos? Nope.
Nobody's checking Bombos for us. It's all we want.
I mean, it makes sense though, right? Like,
no,
no
if
reason
you know,
to check Bombos.
If they didn't know where the flute was, they would probably be checking Bombos just because it's right there.
I'm not sure. I think only one runner has checked Ether Tablet. And if that person also checked Pedestal, I could definitely see a Bombos check just to make sure Pet's not required, because that's the only way it could be.
Yeah.
But it is a significant amount of time to do that.
So Durand finishing off Vitreous, small key.
Nope.
Seeing some numbers in the chat for some reason.
Okay, he's gonna do some overworld before he leaves. This is a smart play.
Yes, if there was a sword sitting right here in Meyer's shed, you would feel pretty silly not picking it up before heading up the mountain. There's another bottle.
Not so helpful.
Oh, this last block.
Go away, block! Okay. Alright, he'll probably do a checkerboard cave too.
At this rate, we're going to be just throwing bottles at Ganon. Smash one, get it nice and sharp, you know.
Old Man Sunshine giving us the Bombos tablet check. Alright.
All right. Thanks, Old Man Sunshine.
Alright, this will tell us definitively if, oh, well, that told us definitively too. Never mind!
Durand will
Head's
also
dead.
tell us
Durand beat us
definitively.
to it.
So we're going to be seeing Master Sword fights then, right?
Oh, definitely.
Well,
Well,
you know
I
what
mean,
though?
let me check the Ether tablet.
Yeah, that would be, if you knew it was there, you'd definitely go and grab it, because that difference in time save / just comfort is worth a couple of seconds to run over and grab that before heading into Ganon's tower. But not knowing it's there, maybe you're just going to run straight into Ganon's tower and hope you're going to find stuff.
Alright, but guys, but Durand is headed to Ganon's tower, and in Ganon's tower there are 22 chests that can contain the Ganon's tower big key, which he needs to finish the dungeon. If you would like to place a guess as to what chest that might be in for Durand, we will follow him through the dungeon and let you know if you won. That's all you get, though.
Yeah, you win us telling you that you won. Which, you know, we'll say it really enthusiastically, like we're really excited about it. Old Man Sunshine found Quake. It is mirror locked. So there's that.
Durand getting dead rocked on his way.
Mm-hmm. So do you have a Ganon's Tower guess usually? Like a particular place or number that you usually choose?
I'm a little afraid to guess because I'm a little superstitious, and I think maybe I might influence where it will be by guessing.
Okay. All right.
So let's just say it's in the first chest, and that way, you know, if I do influence it, it's in a good way.
Okay. I'm gonna say I think it's going to be in chest lucky number 7. Now we'll see after the stairs come down here whether Durand continues and checks that tablet. Probably not. I don't think they know there's anything there.
Yeah, I doubt he will.
Heading in.
Especially in a seed where you've died multiple times to Cold Stare, like Durand's got to be feeling pretty behind.
Yeah.
Although in actuality, oh, it's chest number 2. In actuality, on the restream, he is actually in a pretty good lead.
Wow. So, chest number 2. Do we have any guessers of chest number 2? You said number 1. You were very close.
I think I win by Price is Right rolls.
I
So
think you
get
do.
wrecked, chat.
I don't think we had anybody who picked number 2, actually. Closest I'm seeing, maybe I saw a 5. Wow. So good job, Kit Kat. But yeah, Price is Right rules mean the closest without going over. So
Koi is the
It is
winner.
winner is Koi. So I mean, after this seed, has been a bit of a slog. There's been a lot of work that these runners have had to do. We're an hour and 43 minutes in at this point, just heading up, getting close to starting into the gauntlet. We, you know, okay, you don't get trolled by the Ganon's Tower big key. That's fine.
Yeah, it should be an easy sub 2 here for Durand, and assuming his execution stays on point, a sub 150 is definitely not out of the question,
Mm-hmm.
even with a Master Sword fight.
Yeah, if it was Master Sword,
Silverless.
Silverless, that would be maybe another story. But with the silvers, Master Sword is a little more finicky, but not horrible. Durand heading up the first part of the gauntlet. Meanwhile, Barbecue Sauce fighting yet more eyeballs. So many eyeballs in this game.
And Old Man Sunshine does check checkerboard, so he will not have to be looking for a sword.
Yeah, I think that's a good check to do. There's those three really close by. Makes sense to check when you're still desperately hoping to find a sword before heading up to fight.
Is in trouble.
Oh. No fairy.
Yeah, he ran out of arrows there on the fight, and unfortunately could not stay away from Vitreous for long enough.
Yeah, that's tough. Well, gonna save and quit. Maybe gonna go grab some arrows.
Yeah, I'm curious where he's gonna go to get arrows, because like Desert Palace is probably like the most efficient place for him, especially with them standing right there. There is the bomb shack in the bottom left corner of Kakariko, where you can get some arrows.
Oh yeah, that's true. Gonna go grab some potions, actually. First, that's a good place to start. Satisfying rooms here from Durand. There you go.
Love that room.
Nicely done.
Looks like he's gonna go...
He's thinking about Eastern. No, changing their mind. Kakariko Village.
Yeah, looks like a little bomb shack.
Seeing if they can buy any. Not in here.
There is one shop where you can buy arrows, but it's a little out of the way. Oh, not going to the bomb shack.
There we go. Just heading back in. Gotta trust your potions. Meanwhile, Quiz Bowl wraps it up, grabbing their last crystal.
Oh, he's going to fit in some overworld checks, hoping to find arrows. Instead, he'll find a Master Sword.
Yeah, probably a reasonable consolation prize. Here's Durand taking care of Moldorm 2. Very confident in the Master Sword fight. Not even going to check that last chest just to see if there happened to be something fun in it.
Yeah, it's a little surprising not to open that chest when you're on Master Sword.
Yeah.
I mean, we know it's not a sword, yeah. But to see.
If there was any chance that it could be a sword, you know, it would feel silly to have to do a whole Master Sword Ganon.
Alright, so we're agreed. We're going to tell him it was a sword.
You can tell him it's a sword. I'm a bad liar. I'll just not give you away.
I'm sure one of the other runners will let him know.
Yeah, there was one just outside the front door on a tablet. Could have grabbed it. Oh well. Durand getting ready to head into the Ganon fight here. Meanwhile, Quiz Bowl just about to head in to start climbing up Ganon's tower here. Barbecue Sauce looking for arrows. Has 5. Old Man Sunshine is doing fine. Could lend some to Barbecue Sauce. That would be nice.
So it is 12 spins in each of these first 2 phases for Durand to get Ganon through. Getting a nice spot in the top left. Easy doubles here. Ooh,
yeah. And we're into phase 2. These fire bats are dangerous.
Ow.
Yep, time for some invincibility.
And he has magic to spare. He does not need much magic in phase 4 with those silver arrows.
Yeah, time to use your magic to stay alive.
Oh, kind of a rough position here.
Ooh. Yeah, that's tough.
And unfortunately, it does look like Quizbull skipped Checkerboard Cave. So he will likely be full clearing Ganon's tower, trying to find a sword.
Yeah, that's gonna feel pretty bad when you're continuing to open chests after you have the big key. It's never a good feeling. Durand is headed straight back into Ganon here. Taking a hit to Ganon's trident.
I'd love to see him put the cape to use here in phase 2. A lot of players try to avoid using the cape on Ganon because like magic's such a temperamental issue. But when you have half magic and silver arrows, you need like 1 or 2 relights to finish this fight.
Yeah. Ooh, boy, cutting that real close with those fire bats. I don't know how many hearts of damage do the fire bats do with blue mail?
3, I think.
Hopefully not 4. Yeah, taking a little bit safe. That is totally fair. Meanwhile, barbecue sauce wrapped it up with Vitreous. We're into phase 3.
Oh my god. So the main goal here is to stop Ganon from spawning the fire, and the only way to do that is to hit him as soon as he stops warping.
Yeah, it's hard to time when you have to do the sword spin instead of just a slash.
I feel like it's a silverless hit, but that's not what he was after.
All right, now we're into the comparably easier part now.
Yeah, easy double here.
Gotta take the shot for a triple. Why not? Ooh, down to 2 hearts. But should be able to wrap it up here. Whew.
And that'll do it for Ganon.
You can release that breath you've been collectively holding as Durand gets it done on the second time through nicely. Quizbull found the sanctuary heart there in Bob's chest.
Not bad, but also not a sword.
No, not a sword. They're not going to find one in here either. All right. Well, we have a number of runners tonight. Actually, we had close to 30 having a good time here. Durand is the first one to finish on our restream with a time of 1 hour, 52 minutes, and 16 seconds, coming in first overall from our 4 runners. But in the grand scheme of our runners tonight, 12th place. Looks like there was first place finisher was back 133.10, Gamachu. So bit of a spread there. We have a lot of people clumped up around the late 140s, 150.
Yeah, it's like a nice. It looks like a nice 6.5 minute gap between first and second place, but then everybody after that was in 2 minutes of the next person to finish.
Yeah, for sure. So it looks like we have Durand joining us in the booth. GG, Durand.
GG.
Would you like to know where the swords were?
Pendant dungeons?
Would you believe that there was a tempered sword in that last chest in Ganon's Tower that you touched and walked past?
Yeah, I debated opening that, but I thought, well, you know, even if it's tempered, I haven't done Master Sword in a while. This might be fun.
All right,
Same reason I messed around. Oh, okay.
It was not a sword. The swords were. There was a sword relatively close in on Ether Tablet, so you could have potentially grabbed that if you had known it was there. And the last sword, you'll find out in your credits here soon enough. It was on pedestal.
Yeah, no thanks. Not that one.
No, that was a little bit out of the way.
Yeah. Got a little cocky with Cold Stare, and then he got cocky with me.
Cold Stare with Fighter Sword is never super fun.
Yeah, but I like switched to Hammer just for the heck of it, because I've practiced him for a while, and I thought, well, you know what? I think I'll just try to do him with Hammer. I know I have magic,
Okay.
I can just do this. And then, oh, that was a really bad idea. Okay, let's go back in there and do it right. Apparently I can't do that. Okay, and then I'm tilted, go up to Turtle Rock, no magic. Ugh, jeez. All
Yeah,
that
was it
probably lost a lot of places.
Was it an intentional play to not do Ice Rock Cave, or was it just something you had forgotten about?
I intended not to. I tend to skip that one a lot since it's Sphere 0. I really wouldn't have gone back for a long time without that hint.
That was a nice hint.
That was very lucky, and knowing the flute ahead of time, too. Especially with how trolly everything was. I mean, it all routed from getting a shovel and TR.
Mm-hmm.
So it's crazy. I mean, that hint kind of made me think, what if? And that's why I went up there. What if that leads to something? And worst case scenario, if you consider worst case, I'd find something else in there anyway. But it didn't. So it was crazy.
Trying to think of what else so everybody got a hint about the location of the flute fairly early on. So obviously Turtle Rock being one of the dungeons, locking that out. I guess that plus the mirror being required for the other one of those two dungeons, that's that's a pretty mean trick that this seed played.
Bombos was a little trolly. I mean, people tend to go to pod anyway since it's 5 items, but I feel like I was lucky in going there before any other pendant dungeon. I mean, I always check the front of Thieves Town, and I checked a good portion of Skull Woods, but that was just kind of, okay, fine, I'm just going to look around in this dungeon. Maybe I'll run across some magic. I'm too tilted to fight Cold Stare again. But yeah, Bombos is in there. It had to go in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the majority of our runners ended up getting bottlenecked by Palace of Darkness. Usually you do see people make that play a lot earlier when you get the bow and the hammer so quickly, but nobody wanted to go in there.
That's because bow was followed up with a lot of other stuff. Like, what was it? I think you got boots. I can't remember. I think Kana Samaria was up there. It was just a really hype Death Mountain.
Yeah, both light and dark. I think the Synchronous Mardia was dark, and then Hammer and Boots were light, and it was just too much good stuff.
Yeah, because I would have done pod earlier if it was just bow. It'd be like, okay, fine, there's probably something, but not after all that.
Yeah, it was almost like the seed for a little while. It was very linear, and then it became very open, and then it became super linear again.
Yeah, just jumping in and out. Yeah, actually, the original game's kind of like that too, a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. We're now watching some of our other runners. They were hoping to find some swords that they're not going to find in Ganon's Tower. Quizbowl is getting to the top of the tower here with a fighter sword only.
Barbecue Sauce has been inside, and he had the Master Sword, but ended up running out of arrows in the Mimic rooms. And I assume he forgot he has the shovel and could have dug for arrows outside, but ended up going all the way to Kakariko to find arrows in the bomb shack before coming back.
Yeah, that's not fun.
Yeah, finding a sword in GT always makes me panic a little bit. Unless there's not much open in the overworld.
And if I remember correctly, I think Quizbowl is the only one of our runners to know that there's a sword on Ether Tablet, and he's also the only one of our runners who can't get it.
Yeah.
Wait, so wasn't Book in Hookshot Cave?
Mm-hmm.
It was the last item. Okay. So he just hasn't stopped by there yet.
Quizbowl left a bomb for that last chest, even though it had a piece of heart that filled him up completely. Very rude.
Well, he's not able to get the Ether Tablet sword because he hasn't found the Checkerboard Cave sword.
Yeah, this was a very sword bottlenecked seed. Kind of interesting to see people have to do fighter sword strats for all the bosses.
I wonder if he'll go get the Tempered Sword before fighting Ganon once he does find the Checkerboard Cave one. I might do it just because, like, you know, I see everybody else finishing already. I'm not worried about losing time at this point. It'd be nice to just have a nice Ganon fight.
Quizbowl would need to get a sword to finish that fight, right?
Yeah, he needs at least the Master Sword to do Ganon.
Yeah.
Old Man Sunshine putting the cape to work here in Phase 2 on Ganon.
Yeah, I think Old Man Sunshine has a bunch of potions, so basically can just turn into a completely impenetrable magical warlock and just murder Ganon even with just the Master Sword.
Quizbowl takes down Agatu, but no sword, he's gotta leave.
Yeah. You got the cape, you can go in and fight Aga 1 now.
kind of a pointless endeavor, but he can, you're right.
Maybe he has a sword, you don't know. He does.
Going to check pedestal. No. Wait, where are you going?
I hope it's a pedestal check.
He's
No.
gonna check he's gonna do mirror checks. I think he'll probably do Graveyard Lich here.
Hopefully that means that Checkerboard Cave will come up.
He is the only one of our runners with 2 pendants. He could just go kill Helmasaur real quick and get his sword off pedestal.
I want to see it. Let's do it.
Old Man Sunshine taking down Ganon.
Very nice.
Silver arrows, my one weakness.
Second of our restreamed runners to finish with a total time 2 hours, 2 minutes, and 3 seconds. 19th place overall for the race tonight. Time for another? Yeah, let's do another one. And we have Old Man Sunshine with us. GG.
GG's.
So, how about that? Amazing choice of swords that we had in this seed?
The choice implies there was actually more than one. So where was the third sword? Or fourth, I guess.
Ether Tablet had an easy access tempered sword.
Crap!
I know, right? I mean, it makes sense not to check it. It's just one location. Why
I should have. I totally forgot that.
But our fourth sword, you'll find out in your credits, is on pedestal.
No, that I checked.
Oh, you did check that one.
But I did leave Gary's lunchbox behind, so I'm glad it wasn't in there. Oof. It wasn't too bad, except for the whole, well, you have to finish Turtle Rock first, and then the swamp, and then...
Yeah, wasn't that fun? All kinds
So-
of fun.
As soon as I saw that clue about the red crystal and then saw that Turtle Rock was 5-6, I went, oh, it's that kind of seed, huh?
Yeah, hey, let's climb Death Mountain a bunch of times, seed.
You know what? Thank goodness for hints. What would this seed be like without him?
I almost didn't check that one. I'm damn glad I did.
I I saved the ice rod for last. I only knew it was there because of one of the last hints, and just for fun, I checked the hint nobody else does, just to see what it said. It was fun.
Shopping mall, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, actually, I think just about all those items, except for the flute, were in. Well, I mean, everybody would have hit those spots without too much trouble. So, just that flute. Even that's not that bad.
Yeah, flute was kind of nice. It was only mildly trolly. What about bombos? When did you get that?
Oh, I was pretty late on that. After I did Ice Palace, that was the last crystal dungeon I could do. Then I went up to Pod and got it there, and then finished Pod looking for the mirror just in case.
Same here, but I left Ice Palace in a fit of rage because Cold Stare was mean. So
Well, Trinix was mean to me, so.
It's almost those though they're late game bosses and they're hard and dumb.
Nah.
I'm pretty sure they're both balanced around having the fighter sword, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
For sure. Fighter sword, maybe just a hammer is fine.
I stand by that Cold Stare is the final boss in this game. That is the worst boss to me.
Unless you have half magic and fire rod, in which case you melt them pretty fast.
He did have those.
Whoops!
Hey. Yeah, I got cocky. I decided to do him with the hammer just for fun. That was stupid. I had magic!
That sounds like fun.
We were like, why not? And then when you took a death, we were like, oh, well, now they can run back in. They still have half their magic left, so it's not too bad. Oh, okay, that's pretty smart, actually.
And then he destroyed me again, so I went and took my medicine, and I needed it. What a jerk.
I took the opposite route. I said, down, 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 and just burned him completely up.
I did, but I kept missing.
I got some multiple hits. I got lucky.
You listed aimlessly to the left. It was too much for me to predict.
But hey, it still took me 2 hours to finish, so... I have to go back and find out why I guess Bombos was my problem. Was if I dipped Pod earlier, I would have had that.
Well, we were just talking earlier, after finding all you do on Death Mountain, you kind of don't want to stop by Pod anymore, even if you got the bow. Cause
that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep. I was thinking, oh, I'll just go to Pod later, and then thought, well, maybe not.
Meanwhile, we got our last two runners trying to finish up Ganon here.
Oh, I was second on the dream? I didn't know that.
Dang. Good job.
Did know that the Ether Tablet had a sword, but opted not to go grab it once he finally found Master Sword.
To be fair, this seed was rather ornery with that lack of swords.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was a very real possibility that the Ped Sword was going to be absolutely required. Right
I
up
was
until
worried.
Duran found the Master Sword.
I checked one of the tablets and it wasn't a sword, so I was like, phew. Because the only way that the sword could be on the pedestal is both tablets would have to be swords.
Yeah, thanks for checking that for us. We were waiting with bated breath to find out.
I aim to please.
So Quiz Bowl, getting it done. Official SRL time, 2 hours, 8 minutes, 9 seconds. 22nd place overall.
Yeah, when I found silvers and half magic, I was like, oh, this is going to be an easy Ganon fight, that's for sure.
He killed me once.
He
not
still
having a
beat
good
it by
boss
10
fight.
minutes.
At least he didn't knock me down. I was like, okay, fine, at least I just died.
Yeah,
You
I'd rather
died
have a
with
death
dignity.
than a knockdown, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks like we're good.
Welcome, Quiz Bowl. GG.
Hey, GG.
So, Ganon's Tower. How does it feel not doing it with any kind of real sword?
Man.
You
Actually,
said it.
well, the doing Ganon's Tower with Fighter Sword is not that bad. It's just the stress of not knowing if you're going to get a sword in Ganon's Tower. And the whole time, I knew that there was a sword on Ether Tablet, and if I just could find one in Ganon's Tower, I could back out and get tempered.
Were you tempted to go grab that before starting your Ganon fight?
I thought about it, but it's just like, okay, how much time is it going to take to get all the way up to Ether Tablet versus how long it takes for me to do sword spins? I had stocked up on potions, so I knew I could just do cape strats, and so that's why I want going ahead and going for it.
Yeah, I think it would have been a wash at best, but after
I agree.
being so deep in the scene, I think I might have just grabbed it for the heck of it.
Yeah, but man, of all the things, the last location, the Master Sword was lowest on my list of things that I could have thought that would have been.
As soon as I got mirror, I was still checking every chest looking for that second sword.
Yeah. So that's three of them accounted for. Checkerboard. I thought about going to Checkerboard Cave too when I was when I did Mire Shed. I was like, no.
Do you know where the fourth one is?
I don't. Where is the fourth one?
You're gonna find out.
We're gonna find out.
Wait a bit.
Oh no.
It's gonna sleep again forever. Or
Oh
whatever.
my goodness! And I
And
was
barbecue
close.
sauce.
I was close to finishing Helmasaur and pulling the ped blind too.
We wanted you to so bad.
Barbecue Sauce does
Would've been
defeat
worth
Ganon
it, yeah.
and takes 4th place on our restream. GG's to him.
GG's.
GG's to barbecue
GG's.
sauce. Gonna be joining us shortly.
The unknown sword.
Sleeps again.
We actually had a lot of forfeits this seed. I think a lot of people hated the lack of sword.
There was that, and I saw there was some people that forfeit really early in the seed.
Well, we're now joined by barbecue sauce as well. GG barbecue sauce.
GG.
So we're all just complaining about where all the swords were. Did you know where they all were at the end, or do you want some information?
Yellow.
Hello.
Hello.
Stunned silence.
Have we lost the sauce?
Oh, possibly. Hard to tell.
Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, we'll get him back. But wow, yeah, this was an interesting seed. There was a lot of just kind of gentle trolling in a lot of different ways. I think.
It didn't feel very gentle.
That
Yeah, that was rough.
was gentle for a dentist.
Gentle for no anesthetic.
Yes.
Ugh.
I felt better
Well,
after taking my medicine.
A lot of people didn't like that bomb escape. I was actually practicing that right before the seed, but only the first blue guard. So the second blue guard was a little dicey, but we made it. And then of course I probably should practice the key rat. If I'm gonna, I should probably just go all the way.
Yeah.
The go-to strat is to carry a bomb and walk near him. And
Yeah.
I call it suicide bombing.
Just tank it.
Come here, rat.
I'm going down, taking you with me.
Man, I think I was down to one heart the first time I got there, so I was like, oh, I gotta be careful, and then just unraveled from there.
Yep, I did that a couple times during escape. What's that beeping?
So, question, guys. Where can a guy get some arrows in Ganon's Tower?
right outside underneath the dirt.
Yeah,
That's
just
really good to know, I think.
The go-to strat for finding arrows is to just dig outside if you happen to have the shovel.
Or if you're on your way up, go to the arrow upgrade and grab that because it refills your arrows.
Oh, there's an idea.
Also,
I
if you
nearly
only
did that,
need-
but I had 18 arrows, so I went, nah, I don't need it.
I think there was about 3 10 arrow drops within all the chests around Gans Tower, if you're interested to know exactly what in all 27 of those chests.
I mean, I checked an extra 4, and then I was like, all right, that's good enough.
I did the same.
I mean, you found what? Somebody found powder. Yeah, Quizbull, you found powder.
Yeah, powder and mushroom. So,
Yeah. Nice.
so it crossed my mind that maybe there was a sword on the witch or the Mad Matter.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Man, I would have killed. I learned a lot this seed though about using fighter sword and what not to do.
Do you know where the other swords were?
No.
So one was on pedestal.
Oh, nice. I almost went there. I was only 3 pendants away.
Which 2 did you get? Oh, you would have had to get the desert rock and the other one, right? Yes.
I got
Hype
Yes.
Cave.
Hype Cave and.
So there was one on the Ether tablet.
Okay, that was actually feasible to get, but
if you didn't already have fighter or what do you call it, master sword, then you couldn't unlock it. So it would have taken you a while to go get it.
Yeah, the way the seed was laid out made it really difficult just to check what that was. So I think only Quizbull even knew it was there.
Which is why that's why I committed to full clearing Ganon's tower, because I knew that if I could just find one sword there, that I could get a second sword just outside, just pop out, mirror, grab it, go.
Yeah, I need to start remembering I need to start remembering to check Ether every time at GT.
At least in this seed, it definitely would have made a difference. A lot of the time it wouldn't, but this is just one of those few instances where it would have.
Oh, and by the way, don't flood the key in swamp.
Not generally recommended.
Damn it! I think I'll go check that side swamp. Wait a second, what did I just do?
we didn't call any attention to it, so you're welcome.
I called plenty of attention to it.
I did. That's right. I did see some sort of a note at the end.
Need flood insurance. Send help.
You know, you're an hour and a half into the seed at that point, and your brain is just fried. I'm sure.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, it's just like, when will this be over?
Well, despite all my mishaps, this was apparently an SRL PB for me, so that's exciting.
GG.
Nice.
Congrats.
I don't know how that's possible when I had to go through Meyer twice and half a GT twice and a lot of other things, but hey, that.
You didn't forfeit, and that's really the battle apparently in this one.
Yeah, that was the battle.
I think I was as close as anybody to forfeiting in the first 5 minutes, but I just barely made it out with like half.
I almost did it the first 2 minutes for that bomb escape.
Yeah, that was, it's hard.
Yeah, as many people at forfeit, I'm glad to see everybody finished on stream. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. Congrats to all 3 other streamed runners for beating me. Nice race.
It was close.
Yeah, you had me by just it was just a couple minutes, I think. So.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the arrow mishap, that would have been a big deal.
I think we all had mishaps. Actually, Durand had a lot of mishaps.
Probably the most, honestly. I mean, I got lucky, if anything. Just good routing, fortunate routing. That's what it was. Who goes into TR that early?
I do.
Well,
See, I normally would have, but last time I did, I died on Trinex like 15 times, so I was like, I'll just wait till I get a better sword. That'll be.
I remember that.
It's hard, man.
We were all cheering for you.
I'm just glad I didn't find Bombos until late.
True.
by the way, where was the
I can't-
second mail?
Thieves' Town Big Chest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think only one of you picked that up.
Oh yeah, I only checked the first 4.
I wanted to check the first 4, but I had no way of mirroring out or death warping because I had a fairy in a bottle. So I was like, I'll just save that for later. And then by the time
speaking
it was,
of, Old Man Sunshine, did you try to do a death warp and then get revived by a fairy?
Yes.
Koi wanted that to happen. He was so happy.
I'm not the only one.
I almost did it. You probably saw it. I almost did it. I was
Oh yeah,
down to
you were
2
on half a
hits.
heart when you remembered.
I was like, oh crap, do I have a fairy? Yes, I do. Make sure I don't have a second one here. No, this is just a bee. Okay, we're good.
I always get caught by that.
Yeah, that's like 1 in 10 that I remember that I have a fairy.
Yep.
I knew I had fairies. I made sure to get 2 of them in Desert Palace when I was there for just such an occasion.
And then all the bees.
All the bees.
all the bees.
Good bees.
True.
Guess we could have sold them.
That's just me.
Well, thanks all of you for your very entertaining runs, everybody making interesting choices, and just making our lives interesting tonight.
No problem.
No problem. Thanks for hosting us on the restream. It was a lot of fun, and it's great to be able to show off our skills, or some of us lack thereof.
And Master Sword Ganon, that's always fun.
And a Master Sword Ganon, yes.
Fun, yeah.
Well, we had silvers. That wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
I used to always forget that I have silvers, and I'd start doing like spin strats on him. Like, oh well, I can't kill him, but except by doing this. So okay. Oh wait, crap. By then, he's already taken too many hits for me to try and do that.
Heaven forbid I should forget I have silvers.
Yeah, don't let that happen to you. It's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
Well, I guess maybe it's time for us to start wrapping stuff up. We should probably thank our trackers who were really keeping it together tonight. There's a lot to keep track of with this, and we're all volunteers here, so we always appreciate the work everybody puts in. And we've got Captain MD13 and Professor Renderer on the tracker tonight. So thanks to both of them for doing a bang-up job of keeping track of what is going on in this crazy race.
Sounded like they had a good track record.
I get it.
I get it.
One bad joke. I had to get one in.
All right, you've hit your allotment.
Damn. But thanks to the everybody working on this and producing it. Appreciate you all.
And thank you for the commentary. I appreciate you coming in and talking about us in front of an audience.
Well, it's my
All
pleasure,
nice.
and I'm pretty sure Koi liked it too, right?
Yep.
Especially when we messed up.
It's like my 7th commentary this week. No one signs up.
It's too late. It's past my bedtime. I've got to do it on Friday night.
Bedtime? What's that?
Yeah. Anyway, it was a real joy to commentate with you tonight, Koi, and thanks everybody for tuning in. I have been Cataclysm, and this has been the Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard. And thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.
GG's.
Thanks. It's been awesome.
GG.